Welcome back, everyone, to Mehl's Mountain Garage. Promised I was going to upload more videos, so here's another one. This time I'm going to work on my Cub Cadet LT1045. The last time I worked on it, did a carb and some other things, and it got a whole lot of views. So this time around, I'm actually just going to change the valve cover gasket. And what the hell else am I doing? Oh, the CDI. So I have some rodents that live around here on the mountain, and the mice like to make nests in it over the course of a couple days and chew everything up. So I'm going to put a new CDI, the ignition coil with a plug wire, and air filter, pre-filter, along with changing the valve cover gasket, and I'm going to pressure wash it and get all the burn up oil off. Check it out. Here's the old girl. You guys have seen it before. A little dirty. Honestly, it needs a bath all the way around. The valve cover is up under the engine cover. I'm going to have to pull the hood off and all the bracketry. The engine can stay in it. I should be able to change the valve cover with the engine in it. I just got to pull some of it apart. You can see the oil built up, and that's really not from the oil drain. It's from the valve cover leaking horrendously. So I'm going to pull it up and clear close to my hose. Gunk it down with some engine degreaser, and I'd like to say I'll pressure wash it, but I don't have a pressure washer, not yet anyhow, so, and we'll get it all clean. I inadvertently left the key on a couple days ago and killed the battery. So while the battery's charging, use some gunk engine degreaser and just kind of spray it in there, let it sit for however long it takes me to get it running so I can get it closer to my hose. It is raining here in Pennsylvania. I've got my old school Gore-Tex on. I utilized the rain to finish cleaning the engine and wash the mower down a bit, get the tree mold and that stuff that was kind of growing all on the engine cowl and then all along the deck, or the fenders and shit. I didn't do the deck. I need to pull that off anyhow and sharpen the blades. The headlights you see are pretty crusty. Only one of them works, but I don't know about you, but I don't mow the freaking lawn in the dark. Amazon does it again. I'll put the link in the description below. I think this was 23 bucks or something like that. They gave me 2 air filters, 2 pre-filters, an air box gasket, a spark plug, a fuel filter, and a valve cover gasket. There they are laid out. The air box gasket, pre-carburetor, right where the filter goes. Pre-filter, PCV filter, crankcase filter, whatever you choose to call it. Air filter, fuel filter, plug, valve cover, rocker cover, gasket. The engine in the Cub Cadet is a Kohler Courage 20. The Kohler Courage 20 engines are not difficult to take apart. There are 4 10mm bolts. We're going to pull the engine cover off, and that will expose the CDI or ignition coil or whatever you choose to call it. But we're definitely not you need to get to that. You can see those gold iridate bolts right there. There's 4 of them. But if you put the cowl just the right way, you can lift it off. So what I'm going to do is just pull the headlights out, pull the wire harness out of the way, you lift the cowl off. You want to take this cover off, take the engine cover off, and that'll get us to where we need to go for this maintenance. One of the hardest parts about shooting video and working is I gotta be careful I don't play music that's like copyrighted and shit. Because I love to listen to music when I'm working. I need to get some earbuds. Leave me some suggestions in the comments below. Got some good tunes. How do I go about doing it? Like I said, it just lifts off. So it's a little more than I thought. I'm going to have to come off from the bottom and pull these brackets off. Then I can get to the cover that covers the rocker cover. If you don't need power tools, you can do this with hand tools. But if you have power tools, just use them. Engine cover. The hood brackets are 13mm. can't see a goddamn thing. To be honest with you. Heat shield is 10. Looks like we got to take the bumper cover off too to get the heat shield off. That's okay. I think that's 15. Mother. Actually, the bumper was 13 millimeter. But I was able to pull the heat shield off, and you can see the valve cover, and I had a whole crap ton of oil down there. When it runs, you can see it dripping and leaking. So I will pull the valve cover off. They look like 10 millimeter bolts, only a handful of them. I've got a new gasket. We'll replace it. You can see the coil wire. I had to wrap some electrical tape around it because the mice are eating it, as you can see right there. The funny thing is, when you ride the mower and you grab the metal, you actually get a little bit of a zap, but that'll wake you up. Pull your PCV hose off. These are 10 millimeter. Looks like we got an outside cover. The PCV filter is. I'll clean it, and a little reed check valve of sorts. Then the actual rocker cover. We'll move that guy. And these are just like any other engine gasket if you're a car guy like me. If you're not, it's just a cork gasket. This dude's rock hard. So make sure it's nice and clean. The surface is clean anyhow. A couple dabs of weather stripping cement, usually what I use, and it'll hold it in place. And then we can put all our new stuff in there. What I'm going to do while it's apart, I highly suggest you do it, especially if your mower's got a lot of hours like mine does, is double check your valve lash and adjust it if necessary. It's got a couple 100 hours, like I said, and sure to have some wear. The Kohler manual that I found said 5 to 7 thousandths, 0.005 to 0.007. Some online guys, lawnmower guys said 3 to 5. I'm going to shoot for 5. So, and how you want to go on ahead and do that is you want to make sure the push rod is on the base circle of the camshaft. In other words, the lowest part of the camshaft, not the lobe. And what I want to do is I want to look for, like right there, the exhaust is just starting to open. And that's where I'll adjust the lash. I want to figure out where this is, see if it's above 5 thousandths, and then I'll adjust it down. I'll sink this down. Yeah, so I got some 10 millimeter nuts for the rocker arms. And then the same thing goes for the exhaust valve. Spin it around, get the intake valve till it just starts to open, like literally right before it starts to open, and then you're ensuring that the exhaust cam lobe, the exhaust valve is on the base circle of the cam, and then you check that adjustment. That's what we want to do. So it appears we're at about 10 thousandths. I'm going to get my 5 thousandths. There's 5 thousandths, and you see that's not terribly large. With my ratchet, 10 millimeter socket, give her a little crank, check it. And I want to get some drag on this. Now it rocks. This push rod or rocker arm rocks, so you want to. And now I got a little bit of drag. It's 5 thousandths. So you're giving us 5 to 7. I shoot for a lower one just because. And the exhaust just started to open. little much. Valve lash is now adjusted to 5 thousandths. Let's put the rocker cover back on. Some spray adhesive on the gasket. Using some 2+2 gum cutter to clean off the rocker cover, the valve cover. Is it cheap? No. Effective? Yes. Let's put that gasket on. These guys only go on one way because there's a little tab in a hole. Now I couldn't obviously spray the engine block with gasket or the spray adhesive, but just the gasket with adhesive was effective enough, and that allows me to keep it there in place without it falling out of the way and jacking it up. Voila. With the bolts and hardware cleaned up, we can take our inner filter or inner cover, which you see sits flush. Plop that doggone thing on there. Put some hardware on. And when you're torquing anything down, try to get the torque specs if you can, especially for head gaskets, main caps, and crap like that. And you see it all the time on YouTube, people just run it home with an impact gun. Start from the center, work your way out, go in a pattern if you don't have the torque specs and you don't have the pattern. Especially crap like this, it's tin, so don't kill it. You know, you see I'm using a 1/4-inch drive with an extension, and it's not real tight, and I'm just going around double checking it, because I actually already did this off video, but I didn't record. And I'm pretty confident that's fine. If you sink these down too much, you'll put divots in the tin, dig into the gasket, and you'll make it leak. You'll cause a leak. We don't want that. You can see my air filter housing is off. I pulled the air filter off. The mice have been eating it, and this was from last year, so those guys have been eating the shit out of this. Free filter, or crankcase filter. Actually, I think it goes like that. But there's my old farmer. It's jammed in there somehow. Man, this guy. Spark plugs on these are 5/8. Not running bad. Plug gap is 30 thousandths according to the intervals. I'm taking an NGK plug out and putting in this Chinese replacement. There wasn't nothing wrong with the NGK, so I'm going to hold on to it. I'll probably put it in my ultrasonic cleaner and clean it up and keep it till this one fouls out and is defective. These plugs aren't taper fit, they do have a cross gasket. Let me fire it up and make sure it starts. The important thing is does it leak oil? It was leaking oil right there. So I'm going to let it run for a while. I'm not going to waste your time and my time or the space of my phone, and make sure it doesn't leak. Well, it's been a good 8 minutes. Mower's been running, and I have to say, great success. No oil on the exhaust. Thanks for following along, and I hope you learned something. This video was more instructional than most that I do, but hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully it helped you along with your Cub Cadet LT1045. I thought I recorded me replacing the CDI, the ignition coil. Unfortunately, I did not, so my apologies for that. I want to have a shout out to all my subscribers who've been sending me comments, questions, stuff like that. Try to get back to you as soon as I can. So if I don't get back to you straight away, I apologize. If you're new to the channel, please please subscribe, please leave comments. I'm going to try and get more content up. I've recorded a lot of content over the summer. I just haven't had time to stitch it together and edit it. I'm a rank amateur, so, you know, if you got some tips and tricks, leave them in the comments also. Check out my Instagram. It's in the description below. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.